where's your target country, you know. We have a community, right? The eMigr8 community, right? We'll be talking about the community, but you have the floor to introduce yourself. Welcome to eMigr8. If it's your first time of joining us, we're a tech-enabled platform for relocation and settlements, right? If you have been here before, how's your journey going? Hope you are getting value. Hope you are making progress. We'll talk about landing a job in the UK today. So if you are outside of the UK, or even indeed you are in the UK and you're trying to switch to tech, we're going to be sharing tips. We're going to be sharing ideas and thoughts on how you can land a job in the UK today. Landing a job in the UK tech ecosystem as a global talent. All right. Everything we do here is centered around technology. So we talk about tech, right? How to navigate through the world through tech, right? Leveraging on tech, I should say. We're a tech-enabled visa opportunity, right? And we give a lot of gifts. 85% of what we do is free, right? And if you stay to the end of our conversation, we're going to be giving you a lot of gifts. All right. We are on all social media platforms. If you're looking for us, we have a vibrant community on YouTube where we're always posting videos, right? We also have our app. We also have our communities across social media platform from WhatsApp to Telegram. So you can find us in your favorite social, right? You can find us in your favorite social media of choice, right? Okay. We've done series of open days before, right? This is not our first one. We have a lot of information online. We also have a lot of information on our app. So if you go on our app, right, through your Android App Store or Apple App Store, iOS, you'll find our resource. You'll find eMigr8 app and you can download it and you have everything, loads of information there that you can leverage. If you go on YouTube, just search for eMigr8, you will find loads of information around moving to the UK, moving to the US, moving to Canada, moving to Australia, moving to Hong Kong, right? We have talked about it, right? Even leveraging nomad visas across Europe. We have, brought in guests, brought in coaches and speakers to share insight and to share wisdom and share knowledge on how you can navigate this. If you're in the global talent visa route, we've talked extensively about the UK Global Talent Visa, right? We've talked extensively about other visa routes across the UK, across the world globally. So you want to, binge on those resources, spend some time understanding the path that others have taken and tailoring your application process, likewise. All right, landing a job in the UK tech ecosystem as a global talent is our focus today. And our coach today is Coach Bade, right? He's the CTO and co-founder of eMigr8 platform, right? So you want to pay attention. You want to pay attention, right? And if you have questions, please use the chat. All right. If you have any thought, please also use the chat. Drop your question in the chat and we'll get to it. Where can you find us? We are on emigratvisa.com//tech visas. But you can also find us on our app, and you can download our app from App Store, from Google Play Store, and also from our webpage, right? It's as easy as that. There are a lot of benefits and goodies, right, in our community. So I can't help but preach it because it's a wonderful community loaded with amazing resources, right? We have a campaign running. It's called Settle in the UK as a Tech Talent. So if you are a tech talent and you are looking to relocation or you are looking to move into the UK or you are looking to switching visas in the UK to a more stable, family-friendly visa, right? Let us talk. We have our numbers, our contact numbers on our website on this slide. You can take a screenshot and we can have a conversation, right? So this package is open to beginners, it's open to experts. You can move with your dependent, your family. It's available to you if you're planning to switch visa, right? There's a bit of investment budget needed, but that should not be a showstopper, right? And you need at least 3 to 6 months timeline. So the earlier you start the process, the better, right? So settled in the UK, we're looking at multiple visa opportunity or visa pathway in the UK, all centered around tech, and we can't wait to share it with you, right? We've had good success with other people that have applied through that process in the past. As look out for our social media handles, look out on our website, and look out on our app. We'll be announcing what we're going to be talking on next, right? The Innovator Founder Visa, the UK Tech Nation. We'll be confirming what the next open day will be focused on. Today is focused on the UK and landing a job in the UK, right? Migrate with eMigr8, right? If you're looking to migrate, if you're looking to relocation, eMigr8 is a platform for you. What we do is make you globally attractive. We do that in multiple ways and creating an opportunity where you can migrate to any location of your choice. Now, how do we start? If you can go to our website, eMigr8 Visa, eMigr8 with an 8, visa.com/tech visa, right? That is a point where you can start and let us know your intent and your intentions. Or you can go on our app, on our community. You can reach us through our app, you can reach us through our community, and you can even reach us through the chat room at the moment. So if you leave a message in the chat, we're able to also connect with you, right? Through that medium, through the chat. So fantastic. Migrate with us. I've talked about eMigr8. What we are, we are a tech-enabled platform. What are we focusing on? Right, our goal and our mission is to make you become globally attractive. We want to make everyone become globally attractive. We want to make your business globally attractive. How do we do this? By helping you review your tech profile, either your personal tech profile or your tech-enabled business profile, right? In such a way that we can position you and make you put your best foot forward for the opportunities that exist within the tech ecosystem, right? So for eMigr8, we are not just focused in on getting you a visa. Visa is only a side effect of our objective. Our objective is to make you globally attractive so that any ecosystem you find yourself across the world, you can contribute meaningfully to that ecosystem. So we put opportunity in front of you that allows you build your skill sets, that allows you build partnership, build network that can give you an edge when you apply for visa, when you find yourself in a new ecosystem, right? Some of the services that we do offer within the eMigr8 platform is information sessions like this one, like open day. And we also have general inquiry session. So like this one also, you can ask questions, right? There's a lot of information that's going to be going out today. There's a lot of questions that are going to be answered today, right? We do a lot of coaching and hand-holding sessions, right? We help you to access your pre-qualification for all tech visas. So if you go on our website, eMigr8.ai, you can take a pre-qualification test to check your status, and we can also invite you into our ecosystem and you can speak to a coach, right, to advise on your best decision, on the best decision you should be taking, depending on the outcome of that assessment, right? The assessment is not a showstopper. It's just for you to know what you need to work on, and just to know where you need to strengthen, what part of your profile needs a bit of more focus, right? So it's not a showstopper. Everybody is welcome to eMigr8. We are beginner friendly, right? We would do what we call self-directed roadmap after the pre-qualification process, and that would help us map out qualification, how you can qualify for your desirable tech visa. Now, the self-directed roadmap is personal and is unique to you, depending on your journey. And what we're mapping is steps of and how you can qualify for your for your preferred tech-enabled visa, right? So we can also drop a roadmap for you to become globally attractive with a tech profile, right? So those are things we do largely for free, right? We review the global talent visa application. So if you want to apply for global talent, we have coaches who have gone through the process and they can point you in the right direction. If you have applied for global talent before now and maybe the result wasn't favorable and you want somebody to help you review the endorsement process right before you appeal, we have coaches that can sit with you and help you review that process also. We do a lot of these things for free, right? But however, we also have a premium package because different people have different uniqueness, whether as a result of their circumstances around job or around the fact that they are migrating from a new career from an old career to a different career, and you need a bit of more personalized coaching. You need packages that you can work with. You need custom services, right? We have the eMigr8 Premium service. We have the eMigr8 Circle that can work, that can help you, move at your pace. And that package is, by nature of the fact that it's premium, it means there are paid packages. But largely everything we do is free. We have introductory videos, we have open days, we have coaching sessions, we have pre-evaluation and self-assessments. These are free. We have the do-it-yourself templates on our website that you can use. And we also have short inquiry sessions, right, that you can leverage on to speak to a coach, right, that would advise you on any topic around tech migration, right? So it's largely free. Take advantage of the platform, right? Yeah. And if you're interested in any of our platform, if you're interested in packages, if you want to be part of the tech ecosystem that eMigr8 is building, just go to emigrate.visa.com/tech visa. That is our website. It starts from there. You'll find a short form there. We just want to know who you are and where you are joining from and what your intentions are, right? Do you want to move to the UK? Do you want to land a job in the UK? Do you want to move to Canada? It will allow us pair you with the right resource or connect you with the right information, right? We do have different packages depending on what works best for you. We do have the do-it-yourself if you want to apply yourself. We do have the do it with me if you want a coach to work with you through the process. And we do have what we call do it for me. Now, all these packages and options are things that we can break down, in a one-on-one session. So we have short inquiry sessions that we can, sit down and unpack this and look for what best works for you depending on your unique circumstance, right? To request for eMigr8 Premium service, just go to emigrate.visa.com/pricing, right? And we will connect directly with you and connect you with the right coaches, the right resource that you would be needing. Now, we have eMigr8 packages covered countries like the UK, the United Kingdom, Canada, and a lot of nomadic visas, right? So for example, for the UK, we have moved to the UK as a global talent, right? So if you're looking at the global talent visa, otherwise known as technician, right? We do have packages that cover that. If you're looking at moving to the UK as an innovator founder, so if you're a startup founder and you want to move to the UK as a startup founder, you want to move your startup to the UK, right? That is the best package, you want to leverage on, focused on the UK innovator founder visa. If you're looking at the US, I moved to the US as a global talent. We have packages around the US O1 visa, right? And if you're looking at Canada, we have packages around move to Canada as a startup founder, right? Canada has a vibrant startup ecosystem, but there are steps and boxes that you need to tick to be able to function and in that market. So we have coaches that can walk you through those steps to make sure you are eligible and you're qualified. You can move with your team and you can move with your ideas to Canada, right? We have the self-start UK route. If you're looking at the UK, if you're self-sponsored or if you're self-employed and you're looking at getting the skilled worker visa for the UK, we have coaches that can talk to you through that process. So these are all packages that are existing today. You can Google them, right? You can get information on them from the internet. But what we have done is to curate these packages, right? Make sure every information you need with respect to Global Talent Visa, we can provide in one space. All right. So if you download our app, you can find all those information in the app. Every information you need about move to the US, for example, or the O1 US O1 visa, you don't need to be opening multiple pages on the internet. Just go on our app, the eMigr8 app. You will find those informations right there, right? And our app, you can find our app on Apple Store, Google Store, on our website. One of the things I like about the eMigr8 is that our community, excuse me, we have a very vibrant community across WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, right? I'm going to be dropping the links to join this community in the chat to do where to join, right? The community is vibrant. All we do is we ask that you respect the community members, all right? Chat as much as you want, but be respectful. Ask questions. The community is for people to move, right, by asking questions. So ask questions, share your ideas, share your experience, inspire other people within the community, right? Everybody's on a journey, right? Either to become globally attractive or on a journey to move their talent or their resource or their business to a new economy, to a new market. So we're all leveraging on each other's talent. But we do have coaches in those community that would be sharing information from time to time. I will be answering general questions. All right. I've spoken about our app. If you use the app straight for 7 days, there is a gift for you, right? You win a free coaching session, right? If you are on the app for 7 straight days. So you can download the app from App Store. You can download it from Google Play Store and on our website itself, right? So there are gifts, right? For those of us that have used the app for 7 straight days, that's 1 week, right? And there are a lot of things that can keep you in the app for 1 year, right? There's a lot of articles, there are a lot of videos, there are a lot of information. You can ask questions, you can book a coaching session through the app. So there's a lot of resource. And we also have a campaign going. If you refer a friend to the eMigr8 community, right, you get to win as high as £35. Of course, there are terms and conditions, right? So do well to inform your friends, invite your colleague, invite your friends to the eMigr8 community, right? And there are a lot of prizes to be won. Right. Why eMigr8, if you may ask? So, all right, I've heard about all you have said. I've heard about eMigr8. Why should I consider eMigr8? You know, have you thought about an AI-powered platform? Right? eMigr8, it has gone beyond using traditional method we did to find out what you're looking out for. We're not leveraging on AI. We're AI-powered precision, where we can take your data and process it at the shortest period of time, in minutes, right? To give you decisions that you otherwise would go through many hoops and many iterations to get to. So, for example, our assessments, pre-qualification packages, you can go through our AI platform and you get response in minutes, right? If you want insights, instant insights, real-time update, and actionable recommendation that you will need to work on. So, for example, what do I need to work on? I've spoken in XYZ event, I've mentored XYZ people, I have a high salary. What else do I need to work on? You can get that feedback at the tip of your fingers without even reaching out to anybody, leveraging on our platform, right? Personalization at scale. So we can personalize every experience. So we are not talking to, like now we're having a general session, but on the platform, you can have a personal experience, right? Where the journey is tailored to the information that you have given to it, which is your information at the end of the day, right? So we're going to respond to you. And again, it's a seamless experience, right? With eMigr8 app. So if you go to eMigr8.ai, you would be on the fast track, right? And this is one of or many of the reasons. These are the reasons why you should choose eMigr8, but it's beyond this, right? We also have a human touch, right? If you're looking for a human touch, you want to speak to somebody, right? But this will give you quick access and move you faster towards your goal or towards your destination. All right. eMigr8 bring a strong partnership ecosystem to help you on your journey, right? To become globally attractive, you possibly will need more information. You need a bit of education, right? And we'll prepare you for that, right? We will help you draw up a roadmap, right? That will get you to that point, right? Again, if you think you're not yet qualified, because we think everybody qualifies, it's just a matter of time to process that journey, right? We have boot camps, we have incubators, we have accelerator program, we have the Bincom or talent development program. One of them is the Bincom Talent Development Program that you can leverage on, that we have built strong partnership with, that you can leverage on to get from point A, or to get from where you are to the destination that you have chosen, right? We also have, if you're looking at the endorsement, we are not an immigration expert, but we have lawyers, we have immigration consultants that you can speak with, that we can refer you to within the eMigr8 community, right? If financing is an issue, we also can speak about financing, right? And they are different. We just need you to let us know your uniqueness, and we can put you in the right direction, right? We can put the right information in front of you. Again, by being on this session, I think you've started. You can use the chat room to ask a lot of questions, but you can also go to emigrateVisa.com/tech visa to start the process, or just download our app and start the journey through the app. All right. One of our featured partner is the Bincom Dev Center. I've mentioned them before. The Bincom Dev Center is a technology hub, right? It's a global technology hub. And their promise of value is that they help you build your tech talents. They can help you build your startup, and they can enhance, again, building your tech talent, building your startup, because Bincom has an incubator, right, that you can work with to build your tech talent, to build your products. Bincom have the Bincom technology. Give me a minute. Yeah, Bincom has various technology platform, all right, has a lot of product that you can leverage. They have the Bincom Global Tech Program. That's what I'm trying to remember. Bincom Global Tech Program for everybody, from both beginners, intermediates, and professionals who are looking to expand their skill set, who are willing or looking to learn new languages or new technology stack. So Bincom Development Center is one of the places you want to go to if you're looking to becoming globally attractive. So I'm going to talk about the Bincom Global Tech Program, right? It's, like I said, it's open to beginners, it's open to intermediates, it's even open to experts who are looking to learn new language. The promise of value here is that you're going to learn new skills. You're going to gain experience, you're going to gain exposure, because you're going to be working on real life projects and not dummy projects, right? So it's open, and it's very suitable for many developers who are self-taught, right? And if you're self-taught, you've been playing with maybe dummy datas, you've not worked in a real life project. The Bincom Global Tech Program is a fantastic opportunity for you to work on real life projects and get real experience. So if you go to bincom.net/global tech, right, you will be connecting with the Bincom Global Program, and they can connect you with the right information, right? Become a tech talent is one of the products that Bincom is offering. All right, this is a 3 to 6 month pathway to landing a tech job, right? One of the promise of value is the fact that they are going to give you an individual tech career coaching session, right? Free, not free, I should say, tech training per month. Now, these packages are priced. This is for the premium users, right? But it has been discounted heavily to £1,000 for 3 months. So for the period of 3 months, you're just going to pay £1,000, and you're going to get tech training. You're going to get tech career coaching services. You're going to get opportunity for internship with UK companies, right? And many other benefits, right? This is a pathway. If you're already in the UK and you're looking to land a job in the UK, especially in the tech ecosystem, this is a fantastic opportunity for you to jump on, all right? And we're talking about jobs today. So again, this is a fantastic opportunity for you to jump on. But if you go to bincom.net/global tech to sign up, right, the administrators will get across to you, or simply send a text to the number on the slide, and the administrator will get back to you, right? So become a tech talent. So if you are in a different field and you're looking to switch to tech, this is for you. If you're already in tech and you're looking to switch to your next role, right, this is for you also. Our other partner service is the Bincom mentoring platform, all right? So most of the visa opportunity, not all, but most of them will ask you, how have you given back to the ecosystem? And one of the easiest way to give back is through mentorship, right? And we have this mentoring platform. If you are a C-suite executive on the call today, or if you are a mentee, you are a tech enthusiast, you want to connect with a mentor, this is the platform to sign up for, right? So for mentees, you can go to beancom.net/mentoring, mentor registration to sign up. Let us know what you're looking to build. Let us know where you are at the moment so that we can connect you with the right mentor. And if you're a mentor, we also want to know, what is your technology stack? Are you a product manager? Are you a cybersecurity expert? We want to know so that we can connect you with the right mentee and that relationship can blossom. All right. So it's a mentoring platform, right? And if you go to beancom.net/mentor registration, you would be connected to the right resource, right? Another partner service that we work with is Beancom is Labs by Beancom, right? Labs by Beancom, it's an incubator program, right, that allows you build a startup from scratch, right? You partner with 3 to 10 other cohort members to be able to build a startup. So this is a practical approach to building a startup, to building a product. Most of the visa opportunities out there around tech are looking for those people that have built digital products before, right? They're not looking for consultants. They are looking for actual people that have actually contributed to building a digital product before now. Now, so if you are in tech and you are not exactly, connected to the product team or the development team, and maybe you're in the service arm or you're in the consulting arm, you want to have front row seats, front row experience in building a digital product. Now, this is where Labs by Beacon comes in. It's a 3 to 6 month program where you do ideation. You pick an idea, you ideate the idea, you do market research, then you take the product to the markets, right? All through the product life cycle. So this is a fantastic opportunity for you to build your first product. It's also a fantastic opportunity for you to build your next product, right? So if you have built a product before, you want to build product in a different market or in a different sector, Last by Beacom is a fantastic place for you to come to, and you will build and you connect with other cohorts to build a startup or to build a product, right? Beancom.net/lab is where you want to go to, right? Building a product from scratch is what you want to do. Get your hands, roll up your sleeve, get in the driving seats and build a solution that will catapult you from just being an enthusiast to becoming a real co-founder, right? Of a product. So it's a premium package, but you want to speak with the team at Beancom, right, to be able to get in. Just go to beancom.net/last by Beancom. I think they have a cohort starting soon. So you want to jump in, you want to move fast to be in that cohort. All right. I talked about the tech career coaching service as being part of the land a job, right, for talent, for tech talent. But it's also a standalone service if you just want to have that experience with a coach, tech career coaching service, right? If you're looking for your next role, if you're looking to build relevant experience in your target country, if you want to connect to tech recruiters, if you're looking for jobs that would provide you with sponsorship, right? This is the platform. This is the platform you want to sign up with. Beacom Tech Career Coaching Services, right? For tech employment and recruitment service for individuals. So if this is what you're looking for, please go to beancom.net/tech career coaching. It is available for everyone, right? Whether you're an enthusiast or whether you're a beginner or intermediate or expert level, right? We have this tech career coaching services available for everyone across board. We have the promise of value is the fact that we're going to help you. We're going to facilitate you landing your next role faster, all right? And we're going to connect you with tech recruiters, right? Putting many opportunities in front of you in terms of application opportunities. We're going to help you build relevant experience in the targeted country that you're looking to migrate to. It's not just enough to apply for 1,000 jobs every day without having a requirement or relevant experience that recruiters are looking for, right? So these are some of the promise of value. But when you come to the ecosystem, we're able to work with you depending on your uniqueness, and we're able to point you in the right direction and put you in front of the necessary opportunities. All right. If you're wondering, what does our, packages cover? What does Emigrate cover? What kind of visas are we looking at? So we do cover talent visa. We do cover startup visa. We also speak to work and employment-based visa. We also speak to digital nomad visas and other kinds of visa like the self-sponsorship route visa or the French tech visa for investors, right? So if you're an investor, there are specific visa that are curated for specific segments, right? So if you fall in those brackets, we can speak to some of them, especially for investors, right? For startup, if you have a startup and you're looking to move with your startup or you're looking to move your startup to a different market, there's the Innovator Founder Visa for the UK. There's the startup visa for Canada, right? There's also the French tech visa for founders, right? There's the startup visa for Germany. We can coach you through. We have coaches within our ecosystem that can speak to each and every one of these these visa opportunities, and you can leverage on the eMigr8 platform to get more information. You can leverage on the eMigr8 platform to get coaching that will move you from where you are today to where you want to be, right? We also have talent visas. Now, so the global talent visa for the UK, the O1 visa for the US, right? The global talent stream for Canada. Now, we have coaches that have gone through this process and they can point you in the right direction. They are not by any means certified immigration experts, right, or immigration lawyers. These are people that have applied for these visas, they've gotten this visa, and they've coached other people, right, to get this visa. So we're just going to put you in front of them and they'll use the information they have used before and also updated information that are out there to help you move your application forward, right? We also speak to work and employment-based visa. So this will look at the skilled worker visa for the UK. We're also looking at the EB1, EB2 visas for the US, right? There's also the French tech visa for employees for France, if you're looking to move for France. There's the German employment visas also, right? These are all visas that are available out there. If you can take a screenshot of this slide and you can do your research on each and every one of these visas. If you do your research, there are a lot of information around there. But if you do your research and you have questions, there are bottleneck, there are things, there are languages that they've used that you don't understand, you can come into our ecosystem, you can book a session with a coach so that we can unpack some of those bottleneck and make it plain for you so that you can navigate it easily. That is why we exist as eMigr8, right? But do your findings, do your research. There are a lot of information about these visas online already, right? We have the do-it-yourself templates on our platform that you can leverage, right? You also have the do it with me, where you work with a coach that you can leverage to access any of those visas that we have listed here. Right. And by the way, this is not an exhaustive list. So if there's a visa opportunity that you have that you're thinking through, you can also reach out in our community and we can work with you to get across the line. Now, if you think that you're not globally attractive, right? If you think, oh, how can I get these visas? Right? The common denomination across those visas, whether for individual, whether for talents, whether for startup, is the fact that you're globally attractive. Every economy, every country want to attract the best brain. They want to attract the best talents, right, at the moment. So you want to be able to position yourself as the best brain, as the best talent at the moment, right? So these are the kind of things that we focus on in Bincom, the kind of opportunities that we bring to you are opportunities that guarantee that you can move with your family, that guarantees pathway to settlement, that are friendly to beginners, right? We can discuss in depth in our one-on-one sessions or in our coaching sessions, but it's not like exhaustively. Different visa route has different benefits, but these are the common ones that we know that you are interested in because everybody wants to move with their family. Everybody wants to be settled, right? They're looking for pathway that leads to settlement, right? Everybody wants to know if they can get across the line. So for a beginner, you want to know, how do I qualify? When can I qualify? These are beginner-friendly visas, but we are only focused on tech-enabled opportunity, right? We only speak to tech visas at the moment. We've done a bit of research and we have a white paper out there, eMigr8 tech visa landscape, what this has done is we're just curated together all the changes that have happened in the tech visa landscape globally in the last year or so. So if you want to know all that has happened in the changes that have happened, the introduction that have been made into when it comes to tech visas, you want to go to eMigr8, you want to go to the app and look at the tech visa landscape publication there and just read through. But I can also share the link. If you ask for the link on the chat, I can also share the link directly with you. All right. Um, I know you qualify, but if you're still thinking, well, I don't yet qualify, what can I do? Right. What we can do is to book a session with you. It's called a roadmap session. Right, because what you need is a roadmap session that can take you from point A to point B. So if you're a newbie or if you are intermediate, right, and you want to become an expert, there are things that you need to be working on. There are things that you need to be doing, and these are different for different technology stack. These are different for even non-technical stack, like for different domains. So for example, if you're a project manager or a product manager and you're a newbie, there are things you need to be doing to become an expert, right? And we can sit down with you to map out that roadmap that would get you across the line after a period of time. So all you need to invest in this time at this point is just time to build that technology, to build that experience, to build that product that will get you across the line. So if you're interested in a roadmap session, please drop a message on our chat and the administrator will connect with you, or just go straight to emigrate.visa.com and fill the form and we'll reach out to you. Right. Today we're talking about landing a job in the United Kingdom tech ecosystem as a global talent individual. Right. If you are a global talent individual, which I believe everybody is talented, right? Or you want to take your talent to the globe, this is a fantastic session that you have joined. And we have Coach Bade in the room, right, to walk us through some of the things that we need to know when it comes to landing a job in the UK tech ecosystem. All right, Coach Bade, hi.
Hi, everyone. Thank you
All
for
right.
having me.
Welcome, welcome. I will stop sharing so that you have the screen. Whoa.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you, Moody, and welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us at this edition of Emigrate Open Day. My job is simple today, is to share with you some information as regards landing a role in the UK tech ecosystem, particularly if you're already a global talent. But take a step back, just in case you have not yet been endorsed for the visa, this session is still for you because a number of the principles that we'll be sharing today, it cuts across any kind of visa type you may be on in the UK. Today's session, we will just be looking at what are the steps towards landing that dream role that you may be looking out for, particularly in the tech ecosystem in the UK. That's what we're going to be doing during this session today. And I wanted to start with just the UK government white paper. Recently, the UK government released a white paper as regards their policy direction as regards immigration. I wanted to ask the audience to say, are you aware of this white paper? If you're aware, how worried were you about the white paper on the scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is very worried and 10 is not worried at all? On a scale of 1 to 10, or 0 is I'm not even aware about this white paper that you're talking about. I would like you to drop a number in the chat. So 0, not aware at all. 1 is very worried. 10 is not worried at all. Could you please drop a number in the chat as regards that white paper released by the UK government just a few days ago, on the 12th of May specifically? I'm looking forward to seeing your responses in the chat. I'm looking forward to seeing your responses. Thank you. I see a 0, I see a 1, I see 1. Where 1 means very worried, so that's interesting. I'm just waiting for a few more. I'm seeing 1s again. Right. So let me start with those. While some of us are putting in a number in the chats, as I said, I would like you to put in a number between 0 and 10, where 10 is not worried at all, to zero, which is I'm not even aware of what it is you're talking about. So on the 12th of May, the UK government, the Labour government, came up with a number of policies around immigration. Specifically, they are worried about the migration and immigration numbers in the UK, and they're worried about the fact that quite a number of people are going to be settling in the UK in the coming no, in the coming years. And so on the back of that, they came up with a number of policy direction to curtail immigration. And now this is not about illegal immigration. This is about legal immigration. And they're talking about the fact that a number of people are going to be able to settle. And so they are worried about those numbers. And so they are putting in policy like extending how long it's going to take for people to be able to get on indefinite leave to remain and quite a number of others as well. This is what I wanted to share initially, just before I go into the course of our discussion today, is that if you look at that white paper and if you look at what the government is saying, if you are globally attractive, the UK government actually wants you to be able to settle in their economy and settle very quickly in their economy. Full stop. Take a look at that white paper from the lens of the words I just said now, that if you are globally attractive, they still want you to be able to settle in their economy as quickly as possible. Yes, you may complain about the white paper, you may complain about the policy, you may complain about the policy direction. What they are looking for is they want to have net contributors in their jurisdiction. And so if you notice, even in the white paper, they clearly stated that if you're a net contributor to the economy, you actually don't need to worry a lot. Of course, ultimately, until this white paper becomes law, until it becomes policy, is not even enforced at all yet. And usually with the UK, what happens is if you're already on a route, you usually would not be affected by any changes that are made to that route. Now, this is usually. The truth is we don't know exactly what will happen, but we are able to sort of predict, guess, and all of that based on past actions. There may be surprises, but that's the general direction. So the first thing I've said is that the policy itself says that because you're on this call, because you are globally attractive, you should not be worried. They are making pathways available for you as a global talent to be able to stay in the UK or move to the UK as long as you're able to show that you're globally attractive. You need to also understand that in terms of the ways of measuring whether or not you're globally attractive, that may generally change, but ultimately it's a global standard. The last thing I want to mention is that even if the UK were to say, oh, we don't want any skilled migrants anymore, we don't want any global talent anymore to move to our jurisdiction, bear in mind that several other countries are making pathways available for you to be able to move to their jurisdiction. So the point we're making here is the fact that at the end of the day, you do have options. Please excuse me for one moment. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Yeah. So the point I was making is that If you're globally attractive, there are other countries that are also making pathways available to you as a global talent to enable you move to their jurisdiction. On the eMigr8 platform, we've shared and will continue to share as these pathways are available, as these policies are made, and as these policies change. So I've shared with you a bit around the predictions, but then let's look at landing a role in the UK tech ecosystem, which is what brought us here today. In terms of as a global talent, just to mention that we have quite a number of visa opportunities in the UK that can allow you to work, settle, and move with your family to the UK. We will talk about three of them today. One is the UK Global Talent Visa. Second is the UK Innovator Founder Visa. And third is the UK Skilled Worker Visa. All these three visas would allow you to work in the UK, but each one of these visa types have their nuances. They have their restrictions or they have their features, if I may put it that way. Starting with the UK Global Talent Visa that has little to no restrictions to your ability to be able to work, settle, and do anything you want to do in the UK. So you can move to the UK and decide that you want to be a student. You can move to the UK and decide that you are now retired, you don't want to do anything else. And the restrictions are really few. You can't be a sports person and you can't be a medical professional. You can't work as a doctor. Aside from those two, there are no restrictions to what it is that you can do in the UK. And it's a pathway to settlement. You've got the UK Innovator Founder Visa, which is available to you if you're a genuine startup founder, which means that you are building a startup. And with the Innovator Founder Visa, the terms of your visa is that you can work elsewhere full-time with any other organization as long as you are spending considerable time working and building your startup. It's based on the old UK Startup Visa and the old UK Innovator Visa. Those two were combined to make it the UK Innovator Founder Visa. And so if you are currently working on a startup, if you're a genuine founder, if you have an idea that is innovative, viable, and scalable, that's a pathway for you to have the right to work in the UK. And then the third is the UK Skilled Worker Visa. With the UK Skilled Worker Visa, you will need to land a job first that will sponsor your visa. You need to land that job with an employer that has the certificate of sponsorship. That is an ability to sponsor migrants to move to the UK or switch into the skilled worker visa under that company. Based on that, you will then be able to work in the UK and have the right to work. What am I talking about as the right to work? With the UK, they restrict people from being able to work in the economy if you don't have the right visa. And this is similar to many other countries. It will be illegal for you to work, for example, if or full-time that is, with an organization if you're on the UK student visa. You can work part-time, you can even work full-time when it's not during the term, but you have restrictions to your visa. You need to have the right to work for you to be able to actually work in the UK. And then you have to be able to prove that right to work in one way or the other. In terms of the careers that you could do, I would just say that we are talking to you as regards the process that we're going to share in a moment. We're talking to you whether you're on the technical side of technology or you're on the business side of technology. Whether you're on the technical side or the business side, the process for recruiting, the process for landing that role is very, very similar. On the technical side, you could be software developer, you could be DevOps engineer, you could be AI engineer, you could be hardware engineer, you can be front-end, back-end engineer, UI, UX. It doesn't matter ultimately, because as long as these are skills needed in the technology ecosystem, there are usually going to be roles. You can also be on the business side of technology. You can be on the business side as a service manager, as a product manager, as a digital marketer, and so on. You can be a product leader. You can even be operations, right? Chief operations officer or whatever it is. At the end of the day, as long as you are able to add value to that organization or to the ecosystem, there is a role for you. You need to note, however, that for the UK and many Western economies, they want to see you as an expert. There's a key difference between a developing economy and developed economy. One of those differences is that in developing economies, I come from Nigeria, for example, we are very used to having someone that is a generalist. You are a graphics designer, you are a UI designer, you're a UX designer, you're a product designer. All of them join together as one role. You're a back-end developer, but then they expect you to be able to do a little bit of sales. They need you to be able to do a little bit of pre-sales. You need to be able to make presentation to the client. You need to be able to do all sorts of things, although your primary role is a back-end developer. It has its advantages because sometimes you're able to do multiple things. But if you are projecting yourself as such and trying to land a role as an individual contributor, particularly, you will find it very difficult. Because all of a sudden, when you move to a different economy where they're expecting expertise, they are not expecting you to have so many different skills in your CV. They then are thinking of you as jack of all trade, maybe master of none. And so it's important that as you project yourself as a specialist in something. There can be hybrid roles. You can be a technical product manager, which means you know a bit of technology and then you know product management as you're an expert there. But be careful the way you project yourself to ensure that you're not projecting yourself as, oh, I know all of these things. If you know all of these things, possibly if you get to the third stage, final stage, and you're trying to distinguish yourself from others, then yes, you can bring those up. But at the early stages of the interview process, at the early stages of you landing that role, what you want to do is ensure that you project your level of expertise. There are not many roles available at beginner level, and you're likely not yet global talent material anyway at that level. But as you continue to grow to intermediate and advanced level, there are many more roles that open up. And that roles opening up means that they would be interested in finding you to bring you in to that organization for you to fit in and solve a problem for them. Yes, every role that exists because of one thing. There's a problem that organization wants to solve. They don't just want to pay your salary, and a lot of the people I'm talking to on this call, you will be earning high salaries, much more than the £40,000 threshold that the UK government is talking about at the moment. And so those are the levels of people we are talking to on this call. They don't want to pay you that high salary because they like you. They want to pay you that salary because they know you will be able to solve a problem for them. Whether you're a junior developer, you're a senior developer, you're an engineering manager, you whatever role it is, there's a problem they believe that you are able to solve. But they don't want to solve that problem by creating a new problem, which is why they also need to see that you're a culture fit. Are you able to fit into the team that they've already built? Are you going to come in and then disrupt them so much that they are not even able to achieve the little they were already achieving before? Those are the kinds of things going through the heads of your hiring manager when they are talking to you, when they are interviewing, when they are trying to figure out, are you the right person for the role? And we'll take you through a journey in a moment. And that journey is to just show you to say these are the stages that you need to be aware of when you are trying to land that role. And as I started, the first thing is you want to establish your right to work. whether it is that you're targeting roles that will come with work visa sponsorship, or you already have the ability to work in the UK, you already have the share code, you already have the right to work, and what you're trying to do is you're trying to land that right role that will be a progress, a step in the right direction in your career. In terms of the journey, there are distinct steps, about 9 distinct steps that we have seen, and I would ask you at this point to let us know which step are you in this journey. These are steps towards you being able to land that role that you are looking for in the UK, or in the case of some of us on the call who are, whether you're in the UK already or you are looking to move to the UK with a role. These are 9 steps that you need to sort of bear in mind, and 9 key stages if you are going through the journey of landing a role in the UK tech ecosystem. The journey usually starts with you being open to new opportunities. And for every one of these stages, there are different tips that we have on the platform that can be helpful for your journey. Of course, during this session today, for those of us attending this session live, um, if you're attending this session live, you can ask questions in terms of for any stage where you are. But if you are also watching the replay video of this session, you can also ask questions on the eMigr8 community. You can also book one-to-one sessions with eMigr8 coaches to help unpack some of these conversations. We also have quite a number of resources, many of them free, some of them premium, that is available for you at any one of these stages of the journey. And so the 9 stages, as we've identified them, starts with you being open to new opportunities. When you're open to new opportunities, you typically would have done a CV. Most likely you have a LinkedIn profile. Most likely you are open to say, oh, I'm looking for a role. You've sort of defined what the kind of role you're looking for is. You probably have a CV that fits that role. And I'm going to come back to each one of these stages because I'm going to be sharing some tips for each one of these stages. The next is that you are likely actively applying for roles. You're applying on aggregator sites, but we usually recommend that you also go apply on the actual company side, the employer sites where the employer that is actually looking for this role. When you apply, your CV will go through something called the applicant tracking system, ATS. And at this point, it's an automation that tracks your application. It scans through your application, looks for keywords, and we're using AI more now, even in that step of the journey, and tries to figure out if you're a fit for the job description. Back in the days, you would be asked to do things like keyword stuffing, put all the keywords of the job in your CV and then shade it white. Those things don't work anymore. Bear that in mind in case you're still doing that. Shade it white so that it would be in the PDF file, but the recruiters won't see it. When your CV goes through the ATS, you would usually get to talk to technical recruiters. The technical recruiter could be an internal recruiter, meaning that person works for the hiring company. This is usually larger organizations, OEMs, Fortune 500, mid-size organization. They have more than 100 or so they can afford to actually hire an HR person, part of their job being to speak with candidates. But many times in the UK, for smaller organizations particularly, they outsource these to recruitment firms. So they are specialized recruitment firms, and what they do is to try and find the right person to fit any role that organizations are looking for. Some recruitment firms are specialized in particular industry for particular roles, but these are recruiters at the end of the day. Some people mistake those recruiter calls for interview. That's not an interview. Usually 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes maximum. And what they are trying to do is they are trying to tick boxes. Do you have the right to work? Do you stay in the right place? Does the salary expectation meet? And so on. The next stage is if you are then shortlisted by the technical recruiter, it would send you forward. He or she will send you forward to the recruiting manager. The recruiting manager wears the hat of one of the people that needs to make a decision on whether or not you get the job. In a lot of cases, this is the first time that a skilled person is looking at your CV. The technical recruiter a lot of times may not know C sharp, although they are looking for a C sharp developer. They may not know Python, although they are looking for a Python developer. But they know enough to be able to take a look and scan to say, yes, this may be a match or not. But the recruiting manager is different. The recruiting manager, a lot of times, may even be the person you will report to at the point when you get the job at the end of the day. And so that's the first time that they are looking at your CV critically to say, is this person a match for the role that we're trying to fit? If they believe you're a match, then they push you forward to the next stage of the interview, which is the first stage of interview. A number of times you will do some sort of tests if you are an individual contributor. If you're going to be a manager, you will need to show from scenarios and so on. And that's why we usually say use the STAR model for interview. Google is STAR model in case you're not familiar. That's what we recommend, because if at that technical stage, they just want to know if you have the right skill and your experiences in the past as will match what they are looking for in this role today. The next stage would be the second stage of the interview, where they will still ascertain your capability, and a lot more of time they also want to test culture fit. Will you fit into the team they already have at this point? Third stage, if you get to that stage, sometimes 2 stages and then you are offered a role. Sometimes it may be up to 3 stages, and at that point is where they need to make an hiring decision. If you're getting to that stage, except if there are multiple people that got to that stage, it's your job to lose at that point. Because whoever is interviewing you at that point, they've already ascertained that you have the right skill, you're a culture fit, they want you, the salary matches, and so on. But that conversation now is just to ascertain that they did not miss anything. Trust me, your recruiting manager doesn't want to look bad pushing the wrong candidate in front of their own boss if they are not the one making the hiring decision. So it's high stakes poker at that point. They are making sure that everything matches. And by the time you are on that stage, except if they have 2 people that are fit, and then they are trying to pick from 2 of them, and then they are saying these 2 people are comparable, choose one. A number of times, if you're the only one getting to that stage, you likely will get the job, except if there was something they missed or there's something you said wrong. And at this stage is where you will be offered work visa sponsorship should you not already have the right to work in the UK. If you're already a global talent, obviously you already have the right to work in the UK. If you're a dependent of somebody that is on a different visa, you already have the right to work in the UK and so on. But this is the stage where they would offer you a work visa sponsorship at that point. Now, I would like to ask the audience, because I'm going to go through this list again, but this time around, I will spend some time just giving a bit of tips for different ones of the stages until Moody tells me my time is up. What stage are you in this general framework? Are you just open to new opportunity, or you can say 0 if you haven't even started at all? Are you actively applying? Are you getting your profile through ATS? Because one of the things we say to people is that if you, and of course, one of these things on this model is for you to apply to multiple roles. But if you're applying to roles and nobody is talking to you at all, there's something wrong with something in this your step. For example, if you're at stage 2 and you're applying for roles and nobody is calling you for those short calls, there's something wrong with your CV. Fix your CV, fix your profile, you will likely start getting calls. If you're getting calls, but they are not pushing you forward to the recruiting manager, there's something wrong with what you are saying on those calls. fix what you're saying, you will likely be pushed forward to recruiting managers. If you are being pushed forward to recruiting managers, but then they are not picking you to speak with at interview, look at your CV again. But this time, don't look at it from the point of view of the AI, ATS, and all. Look at it how an human being would likely look at it, or get someone that has the right expertise to look at it at that point, because there's probably something wrong with your CV. Why the recruitment manager does not feel like you are the right person for them to call for this. It may be your work experience, it may be your skills, it may be how you've projected yourself, but there's something likely wrong. If you're getting forward and then you're not, if you're getting to the first interview, but you're not moving forward, you need to look at your technical assessment. If you're a developer, for example, we recommend that because you know that you will get technical assessment, you will have to do a karang or katas and so on. Start practicing, start doing drills now, so that when those interviews come, you've likely done those tests before. If you're moving forward and then you're not passing through the second stage, you may want to think about some of the situations that you described in your interviewing. A number of times we ask you to sort of prepare like 30 to 40 different scenarios that you can pick from. Practice it. Make sure that you tick the right boxes in terms of the result, in terms of what you did, not what we did as a team, because they are interested in what you were able to bring to the table. An interesting interview question that I've recently started using is, if you were not in that organization, what would they lose? If you were not in that team, what would they lose? What would they not have at this point because you are no longer there? And it goes on like that. So the question I asked is that, could you drop in the chat what stage you are at this on this map? What stage are you on this map? Which one are you getting to? Are you already doing quite a number of applications? What stage are you? I'm hoping that we'll get many. And of course, if you haven't started at all, then it'll be good for you to just say 0, that you haven't yet started. All right. Thank you. I see a number of messages. And yes, if you have questions, please drop them in the chat. We will pause in a moment for as many questions as we will be able to take. And so going back to the list again, a couple of tips would be, if you are open to new opportunities and at least once a week, you are not getting a recruiter coming to you to say, hey, I see your profile. Would you be interested in these roles? Sometimes those roles may not be a fit because recruiters also use automation and they are just messaging people blindly. Some of them use the recruiter mode in LinkedIn, so they pay LinkedIn a ton of money to be able to contact you and so on. So it doesn't always have to be a match. But if you are not getting at least one person per week, or maybe maximum twice a week, sorry, the other way, maximum once in 2 weeks, reaching out to say, hey, I see your profile, you look interesting, would you be interested in this kind of role? Or you get emails, or you get messages of that nature in your social media. There's something wrong with your profile. Fix your profile, and you will likely be surfacing to some of these recruiters from time to time. That's the first thing that you need to do. Look at the CV that you're putting out there. Look at the profile that you are putting out there. Are you projecting some level of expertise? Are you projecting your unique value proposition? Are you projecting your niche? Are you projecting that, yes, you are the right candidate for a certain kind of role? Have you spread yourself too thin such that they are not even sure where you fit in? And gone are the days where you would do this by simply having multiple CVs for multiple roles. That used to work in the days, but nowadays it's harder for that to work, and I will explain why. Except you want to have multiple LinkedIn profile, which is against LinkedIn terms of service, and we're not encouraging you to do that or anything like that. Even if you're submitting multiple CVs, a number of times the recruiter will go search you, they'll Google you out, they'll find your LinkedIn, and then they will go check on your LinkedIn to say, okay, what is your LinkedIn saying? Whatever is the least, whatever is the worst case scenario is what they will pick as the truth. And so a lot of times we encourage on this platform to say, pick your expertise and then project that expertise to your network. In fact, there's something called the hidden job market. And what they say on the hidden job market is that about 50% of roles, now this is anecdotes, I don't know if there's any research that has actually been done, or I don't have that data, but I believe it to be true, that about 50% of roles have been gotten before the role is published on any site, any recruitment site of any sort. In some cases, they will still publish the role, but they are publishing the role just to tick a box, just to tick the compliance box, not because they are trying to find someone. The job market is not very good right now in the UK, but as of today that we're recording this, the job market is better than this time last year. There are many roles that have come out, and there are many roles that people are able to land as at this point. So no, we are not saying that the job market is as attractive as it was 4 years ago or 3 years ago. But we're saying that as long as you're globally attractive, there are still roles and there are still people coming on with roles. As at the time we're recording this, we encourage you to project AI if you already have AI expertise. And if you don't already have AI expertise, build it very quickly. We say that, sorry, I got distracted for a moment. We say that AI will not take your job, but somebody using AI will take your job. So it is best for you to be that same somebody that is using AI. Be the AI champion of your team if you're already on a role and if you're already in a team. If you're actively applying for opportunities, which is level 2, and you'll get a lot of no's, because the strategy we encourage is spray and pray, apply for as many roles as you can that are right in your area of expertise. Also sort of target the roles that you're looking for, so that those roles will be roles that there are quite a number of people, that a number of those kinds of roles that are coming out regularly. Of course, if you're looking for more senior roles, then you have to be more targeted, but we can discuss that separately. If you're actively applying, but then you're not getting calls, you need to also look at the way your CV is created, your cover letter, your CV. And there are tools today that can help you. We build tools on our platform as well that can help you with this. We say looking for a role and looking for a job is a job by itself. There are tools that can help. If you're speaking with recruiters, there are things that you should say so that you ensure that the recruiters will push you forward. We don't lie, because that calls into question your integrity, and whether on that calls it. So please don't. But ensure that you are prepared. Your references in terms of some of the jobs that you've done before, it needs to be at par. And this is also important, that please bear in mind that your references may not be checked at the beginning of this process, but at the point when you are made an offer, they will do a reference check. You cannot change your CV at that time and say that, oh, the companies I put in my CV were fake. Then you don't have a role, because part of the reason why you were offered the role is based on those roles and jobs and past experiences that you put in your CV in the first place. You can also explore relationships, and I'm just rounding up now. You can also explore relationships. Don't depend on just LinkedIn easy apply, for example, to say you're just applying on LinkedIn and just doing easy apply and you're expecting that you will be able to get calls. The truth is that a number of times, by the time you are doing easy apply, particularly if you are doing it manually, particularly, you will see by yourself, you should know by yourself to see, oh, there are like 30 people that have already applied for that role by the time that you are applying. It brings me to the next tip to say apply for these roles immediately that they are posted. Why? Because when you apply for a role and a recruiter, I'm saying from the point of view of a recruiter now, the recruiter gets a bunch of CVs. They need to sift through and decide, oh, these are the few people I'm going to call. They are not going to call the 100 or 200 people that applied. They will pick a few that they feel like they seem to be a match, and then they will call those ones just to ascertain that they are a match for the role. When they do that, they don't need to go look at the whole 100. They'll probably pick the first 20, maybe 30, maybe 40. The only reason why they will go back to see the others that have applied, maybe if all 30 were not a fit, what are the likelihoods of that? So part of what you want to do as someone looking for the role on the other side of the fence is that you want to be one of the top people in the queue when you are applying. AI tools are available today that would help that journey. And there are a bunch of them that we coach on the eMigr8 platform that would be able to help some of these things that I've just talked about in terms of you getting in front of the queue, in terms of you being able to show yourself as being globally attractive to those employers and recruiters that want you. But then the question I have for you as I begin to round up this section is, are you the best man or woman for the job? While you're waiting, part of what you should be doing is building your capacity, building your skill, building your abilities so that you are able to show immediately to when the opportunity does come, and those opportunities will always come. When the opportunity comes, you want to be able to show that you are the right person, the best person for this role. Don't forget that you are competing. A lot of people don't like hearing that, but it's the truth. You are competing with other experts in your niche. You are competing with other people who also have the skill that you say that you have. Some of them may even be lying, but their packaging is so much on point that until they get forward, before they start sorting out who is saying the truth, who is not. And so while you're waiting, you should be building that capacity yourself, those abilities. Remember, I mentioned that if you're a developer, for example, they are going to give you coding tests to do. Unfortunately, many of these coding tests, they don't represent the kind of work you would do on a day-to-day. And if you have past experience, they don't represent some of your past experiences. But those coding tests is sort of an industry standard to help them sieve out those that can write code, those that can solve the problem from those that can't. And so why are you not doing practices now? Why have you not set yourself up on some sort of structure to be able to practice as regards those tests themselves? Because you know these tests will come at the end of the day. There are several more tips that we can share, but I'm going to pause here for questions. And just to recap again to say, landing this role requires strategy. Landing a role is a job by itself. There are things that you can do on a day-to-day for you to optimize your chances of landing the role. At every one of the stages that I explained, there are ways in which you can optimize your profile, and you can speak with a coach on the platform, or you can also do it yourself. There are quite a number of resources there on the platform that can help you, but ensure that you are generally moving forward. Ensure that you are moving forward towards your goal gradually but surely. And of course, if you're in need of a visa, one of the best visa for you to target is the UK Global Talent Visa. But at the same time, it's the hardest of the three that I mentioned for you to be able to land, because they want you to show that you are globally attractive. If I line up 10 product managers, you need to show that you are top one, top two, or maybe top three of those product managers. And the UK is happy for you to move to their jurisdiction without any job offer. With the innovator founder visa, they are happy for you to move because you're coming with a startup idea that they have assessed as innovative, viable, and scalable, but you can work for other organizations while you are building on your startup. With the skilled worker visa, when you land the job, the employer themselves are able to sponsor your visa. And as I said, our focus on this platform is salaries and roles that will pay you more than £40,000 an annum. And so the UK government's threshold that is being reached at this point is the 38,700, which is much higher than that 40K. That is our target on the platform minimum that you should be looking for because you bring in skills, experience, and exposure at that level. If you are not yet there, what you should be doing is have a qualifying roadmap of where you want to be and where you are now, with a journey, showing a journey of what you need to do to get to where you want to be. And the eMigr8 platform is able to help you. On the platform, we have options of do it yourself, we have options of do it with me, and we have options of do it for me. When we say do it for me, it means that a lot of the project management, logistics, technical writing, and so on, we would abstract that for you. It doesn't mean that you don't do anything at all. But regardless of which option you are interested in, what we would like to see on this platform is that every single individual that is in this community that uses this platform is globally attractive. We've used the UK as an example today, but just to mention that some of these principles also work for Canada, for Germany, and other parts of the world that we also track from a landing a tech role perspective. From an eMigr8 platform, our focus today was around you landing the job if you already have the visa, you landing the job if you already have the innovator founder visa, or you landing a role if you are seeking work visa sponsorship. The principles are the same whether you're already in the UK and you're looking for ability to switch your visa, or you are outside the UK and you're looking for an employer that will sponsor you. Of course, it is harder if you're outside than if you're already in the UK, but the principles are similar and the same. There's a lot we've said, and I'm hoping that with questions, we'll be able to dissect it a bit further. And there are a number of resources on the eMigr8 Tech Visa app that we already have for a number of these things that we talked about. And so please take a look at the app. A number of resources are there that can help you further on this journey. Thank you. Over to you, Moody.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. That was a very detailed and thorough session. Just back to the audience. So if you have question, this is the best time to put it on the chat, and we'll go through the question on the chat. Right, Buddy have spoken about the Global Talent Visa, the Innovator Founder Visa, and how to land a job, steps on how to land a job, techniques on how to land a job in the UK, things you should be doing, not being jack of all trade, highlighting your domain of strength, right? Okay. All right. If you are looking for information with respect to Global Talent Visa, we're going to talk slightly on it. But if you go to emigrateVisa.com, right, or emigrate.ai, it's a good place for you to start. Or you can go to the app, the eMigr8 app. It's a good place for you to start also. All right. So that is a fantastic place for you to start. I see comment around the Global Talent Visa. So I don't know, buddy, if you want to just speak to this briefly. Somebody is asking for info on Global Talent Visa Exceptional Promise category, right? Do you want to just give a summary, a brief intro on that?
Okay, then. Yeah. So with the Global Talent Visa is one of the three visas I talked about that, I mean, it wasn't an exhaustive list of visas. It was just the three that we talked about during the session. Global Talent Visa is split into two. There's the Exceptional Talent and there's the Exceptional Promise Visa. The Exceptional Promise Visa is saying that you're a potential leader in the field of digital technology. The Exceptional Talent Visa says that you are already a leader in the field of digital technology. If you have more than 5 years of experience, however, you cannot be assessed as exceptional promise any longer by the immigration rules. You can only be assessed as exceptional talent. So technically speaking, if you have less than 5 years of experience, you have two options, either exceptional promise or exceptional talent. But once you've crossed the 5 years of experience, you can only be assessed as exceptional talent. With exceptional promise, you have 5 years to indefinite leave to remain in the UK. With exceptional talent, you have 3 years to indefinite leave to remain in the UK, which is the permanent residency for the UK. The requirements are similar, but one is saying you're a potential leader. One is saying you're already a leader in your field of digital technology.
All right. Thank you. I hope that is clear. So for everyone that wants to, that's asking about the Emigrate community, I have dropped the community links on the chat, right? You can join the community using any of those links, the WhatsApp link, the Telegram link, the Facebook link. And when you get on that community, you can ask the administrator, you want to speak to a coach with regards to global talent, exceptional talent, exceptional promise category, and we'll be able to schedule you to speak to a coach that can share, more detail and can also listen to you as to your own experience and your background, right? I want all of us to use this medium to ask very good questions because I see some questions on the group and I'm wondering if it's the best question to ask, right, with this opportunity given. But I would ask the next question. Someone say good day, buddy. Thank for the great session. Although I just joined because I was prompted to join the community first before joining. Please, I want to know about the UK Global Talent Visa route. Do you have any opportunities in these routes? I wouldn't know what you mean by opportunities, right? If you can share more light on it and make your question more specific. Buddy just spoke about the UK Global Talent Visa route, exceptional promise route, and also talked about the exceptional talent route before now. But if you're asking if there are opportunities, you want to be specific. Opportunities in terms of landing a job, yes. Opportunity in terms of getting the visa, yes. Right. I don't know, but are there other opportunities around global talent visa that you want to speak on?
Well, so I think I'll just answer the question to say on the eMigr8 Tech Visa platform, we support you for your entire journey from when you're a newbie, maybe not yet qualified for the visa, to
Mhm.
the point when you're on the qualifying roadmap for you to actually qualify for the visa, to the point where you're on the application roadmap where you are qualified now and then you are putting together a viable application that will get you endorsed, to the point when you've been endorsed and you're applying for your actual visa because the endorsement stage is not the visa application phase, to the point where you are relocating, integration into this new economy, even settlement. eMigr8 Tech Visa supports across the entire journey. We support with one-to-one sessions with coaches because everyone has personalized experiences and everyone has unique circumstances. We support with AI tools, and Moody talked about some of those AI tools from information inspiration to road mapping to integration. Quite a number of tools available to you. We support with pre-qualification criteria. We support with helpful templates. We support with the app. We support with the roadmap, with the eMigr8 task. There's a lot available on the platform for your entire journey. So think of the eMigr8 platform as unloading you through the entire journey. And part of what it is that a number of that is free. And with this new subscription model that we're launching, you also get access to a lot of these at a very low cost for those that were not already free. Over 80% of what we have on the platform is free and would remain free.
All right, fantastic. Somebody's asking a question. Is it ethical for a recruiter to drop his number that you should call him? That is the question, but I'm going to merge that with a question that just came in. That said, thank you for all the information. It's been very helpful. Does eMigr8 offer support for CV optimization? And if yes, is it a paid service? is it paid? So yeah.
So, I'll take the recruiter question first. It's highly unusual for the recruiter to send you their number to say, call us. A number of times the recruiter will call you instead. But maybe it's unusual. So just do your due diligence. But it's possible that maybe the phone number you had on your CV wasn't working and things like that. And they were actually trying to reach you and they couldn't reach you, which is why they're asking you to call them. Very unusual, sounds suspicious, but I wouldn't just write it off 100% because I don't know. What is typical is that they would email you. What is typical is that they will send you their calendar invite to say, book a call with us, or we tried to call you, we couldn't reach you. Can you provide a number that we can reach you on and stuff like that? That is more typical, but I don't know is the answer to that. The second question, which was to say that we help with CV optimization, the answer is yes. Is it a paid service or is it free? It depends, because what we do on the platform is that we offer you coaching sessions, short coaching session, and also personalized coaching session. So if you already have coaching sessions on your platform, you can book a coaching session with a coach and just let us know when you're booking the session that what you're interested in doing with that session is CV optimization, and the coach that was able to help will be on the call. Prepare to share your screen. The coach is able to give you a lot of information as part of a do-it-yourself package. If you want a do-it-with-me approach or a do-it-for-me approach where the technical writer will actually help with your CV, then of course that's purely premium. But on the do-it-yourself, if you still have free coaching sessions, you can use it for CV optimization. You have ways of getting access to more coaching sessions free on the platform, or you can buy a few short sessions for you to use for your CV optimization, depending on what it is that you already have or what you've used already on the platform.
All right, thank you. By the way, we have a question here. It's not on the chat, right? For global talent, as we've spoken today, right? For someone that has built a lot of product in their home countries, right? They
Mhm.
have a very lengthy CV,
Yep.
right? I know you spoke about being not being general, not being jack of all trade and be
Yeah.
specific. Right, but how do people that have built multiple products now position in the UK market that seem to be looking for specific? Do you shift all your experience to one side and just focus on one? How do you present yourself in such markets?
Interesting question. So here is something that a lot of people don't know. The profile that got you the global talent visa may not get you a job in the UK.
Hmm.
I'll say it again. The profile that got you the global talent visa may not get you a job in the UK. You may need to tweak your profile. It's the same profile, you're not lying, but what you push forward, what you project will be slightly different. The Global Talent Visa, for example, is interested in what you did to help the general tech ecosystem in your home economy, what you did outside your day-to-day employment. Typical recruiters may not be as interested. They are more interested in what you did in your day-to-day employment and how much impact you made in those roles, because that would help them tell whether or not you fit into the next role that they want. And so for you as a generalist, and you've gotten the visa, what you may want to do is make sure that you repackage your CV to show your specific expertise. That expertise is critical for most roles that people are recruiting for. At a managerial level, that expertise is still needed, just that people management you must project in addition to the fact that you already have the base skill of the team that you're going to be managing. Director level, if you want to, let's have a conversation on that. Those rules don't necessarily apply in the same way. And so we're happy to have a one-to-one conversation. If you're a CTO, CFO, COO in a technology firm, we're happy to have a one-to-one conversation to explain a bit further so that we don't confuse the general audience, or you probably already know. You need to be able to show at that point that you are leading leaders that lead managers.
All right. Just to go back to the question that a gentleman asked on CV support, right? We have partner organization that provides services around tech career coaching. And one of the services they offer is CV optimization, right? So you want to leverage that service, tech career coaching. You want to leverage on that. If you are in the community, just ask the administrator that you are interested in tech career coaching service, and we can network you with the team that you need to speak with. We have a question. Somebody just joined. Say, I'm a newbie. I would like to be assisted. Please, I joined late. We need to know what kind of assistance you want, right? The session will be available. You can go back and watch the replay. But if
Yeah.
you're on the call, you can ask any question in any direction. Today, we're talking about landing job in the UK as a global talent, right? So if you can ask specific question before we round up, we'll be glad to provide answers. All right, we have a question. Yeah, as a young developer, 1 to 2 years, what advice do you have to show expertise in a niche? Oh, okay. I'll take that again. As a young developer, 1 to 2 years, what advice do you have to show expertise in a niche? I have pivoted from data analyst to AI dev/engineer, and I don't have professional experience in the latter. Now, this person has moved from data analyst to become AI developer, but they don't yet have professional experience. So, what advice would you give this young individual or young developer, right, to position themselves in the job market?
Build a startup or join a startup is what I would encourage you to do. Either that or find either volunteer or unpaid roles until you find the right role at a junior level that can help you grow in the right direction. Let me start with the startup. When you build a startup, you would need to be able to do multiple things in addition to your AI engineering and technology skill that you are bringing to the table on that startup. But what that does for you is you start finding real life customers that are able to use your product. Part of the reason why you are doing so should not just be that, oh, this is the only thing I can do at the moment. The reason you are doing so is because who is to tell that you are not actually building the next big thing? Put your very best effort to it. One of the issues with your profile immediately is the fact that you're saying that you don't have professional experience, which means you are captain local host. That's a problem. If you are interviewing with recruiting managers, they are interested in the tools and solutions you built that real life users are currently using. In fact, on the call, sometimes they will actually Google the solution that you are talking about to go and check it out, test it out, see what you're talking about, how much traction has it had, and so on. So you can work backwards to say, find a problem that people have and build on top of it. Find a problem that people have and build a solution for it. Push that solution. Find business-oriented people as well. And we have a program like the Labs by Bincom that can help you do all of that, or you can do it yourself. Whichever way, that's one option. Second option is you're saying that, oh, I've not been able to land the right role, right? But sometimes this is a catch-22, which is that you haven't landed the right role because you haven't done the right role. So you haven't landed the right role because you haven't done the right role. So one of the ways to break that cycle is get into somewhere, either volunteer, internships, and all of that, and use that to start building experience. Believe you me, 6 months later, 1 year later, you are a different person because you have the right skill now, which some of it you already had before, but you'll have built on top of that more skills. You have the right experience with references to back it up. This is important. I've talked about it during my session. And you have the right exposure. You understand where your industry is, where your industry is going, and your profile itself is well exposed to what should come next. And so opportunity meets preparedness at that point. Hopefully I helped. I see some people, I didn't mean to derogate you or denigrate you by saying Captain Local. It's something we talk about within our ecosystem. It's just what it is. But what you want to do is get out of that being Captain Local host, get into being an industry giant, and you need to chart a pathway to get there.
All right, fantastic. We have a question here regarding portfolio. right? Is there a particular template or a way one is supposed to tweak their portfolio design? This person is a UI UX designer and also does that mean I am applying as a UI designer or as a UX designer instead of a UI UX designer? Because you talked about having a particular niche and focus. So how I guess the advice is how can this person who's a UI UX designer position to get to land a role in the United Kingdom?
Hopefully, you're aware that UI and UX are two different things. Sometimes the two roles come together, but the truth is that these are actually two different roles. So sometimes even in the UK, even in established organization, they actually come together, but they are two different roles. So your question is, what expertise should I project? I don't know because it would depend on too many things. It will depend on you. Where are you going? What are you passionate about? What are you interested in? Hopefully, you're aware of all the AI tools that is reshaping the landscape of your industry, right? So be careful what you pick eventually. I don't want to talk too much about that here, so I don't confuse other people. But you want to sort of figure out what niche am I establishing for myself. Once you figure that out, then you want to ensure that your profile shows you as the best person for roles at the level where you are today for that niche. And then you continue with all of the other advice that I've given during the call today. I'm happy to have more specific conversations with you if you need it.
All right, all right, all right. We're gradually coasting to the end of today's session. All right. We're gonna ask a question around. I was gonna ask a question around C-level executive, right? Investors and C-level executive. You know, how as just as a C-level executive who has managed group-led teams in Nigeria or in Africa or in any other countries across the world, moving into the UK, how do you advise them? How do you advise them in terms of how to position for a job? Do they apply for a job as C-level executive, or should they come down to maybe senior director level, or senior lead, team lead, just to be able to get into the market first? Right? Because the UK market is tricky at the moment,
Mhm.
right? And people are looking for their first gig. There's not a lot of entry roles, and a senior level executive might not be open to applying for entry roles, right? Should not apply for entry roles. But the senior level executive, the C-suite executives are kind of very competitive, right? How do they get entrance into such a market?
Networking. So you need to still build your profile, and it's unlikely that you land a role as chief executive. Unlikely, but it's not impossible. And so please don't downgrade yourself to say you are at this level in your own country, and then what you decide to do is go and start from ground zero, right? And then remove everything in your CV, remove all of your great achievements and everything so that you start from ground zeros. Because when they interview you and they think you're overqualified, that's already a problem by itself. All right, at that ground zero or at entry level roles and so on. But understand the problem for your new employers. The challenge would be, yes, even if you come with all of this skill, as a C-suite, you are going to be representing the organization both internally and externally. They want to make sure that you have the ecosystem experience. Technology is technology anywhere, but at this point, you are not just working as individual contributor. You are not even working as a manager of a small team. You are now leading an entire domain, an entire organization. And so the rules are slightly different. At that point, you need to start also building your UK credibility. Find ways in which you can start contributing value to UK-centric organization. You can become a non-executive director, for example, in some startups, preferably funded startup, but that's a different conversation. But you want to start building UK experience such that when those conversations do come at that level, you are able to show how you are the right fit for the role. It's unlikely for them to want to even consider you if you don't have any UK experience in your CV at all. So volunteering and things like that may be interesting to you too at a certain level. But it's important that you also then start networking upwards. Go for industry events, figure out where some of your potential employers are, attend some of the things that they are doing, understand what their requirements and their challenges are. What are their unique problems, some of which you have solved before years ago. Sometimes we don't realize that sometimes developing economies have some things that are better than developed economies. For example, many years ago in the UK, if you were supposed to transfer money, you don't transfer money and expect it to land in the account instantly. In fact, some banks are still not doing that at scale. True story. And so you that you have done payments in the Nigeria landscape, in the fintech landscape, and you've integrated all kinds of crazy solutions together, you have experience that is useful for a particular sector. But you need to then be able to show that, yes, I'm the right person by some of the things I've said, networking, relationship, building the right exposure, adding more to your CV, starting contributing as an NED on organization, things like that. Hopefully, those are helpful, and we're happy to have one-to-one conversation to help optimize your chances as well.
All right. Fantastic. So we have a question, and I'm just going to make it like a general question, right? For folks that are not yet in tech. So this person doesn't have experience in tech. However, this person is a teacher, right, with experience in other sectors. So they want to know how eMigr8 can help, right? So there are folks on the call today that are not in tech yet, but they are looking to migrate to tech. They are looking to move to tech, right? They have experience in other sector before now. Some of them transferable skills, some might not be transferable skills, but how can eMigr8 help these people land a tech role or a job in the United Kingdom?
Um, yeah, so we will need to establish what level you are. And like Moody mentioned just now, transferable skills are important because I use the example of business analysis a lot. A number of people that work in developing economies have done business analysis as part of their other role. They may not know it was called business analysis. They may not even know the keywords of some of the things that they did, but they've actually done business analysis in their role. So they have transferable skills there. So when you are applying for roles, you are not necessarily a beginner level business analyst because you already have experiences at a higher level. You may need to backfill your experience with the right skill in terms of with the right training and so on. But you actually already have experience at a certain level that you are not on ground zero. Those are the kinds of things that you want to start figuring out very quickly. There are not many roles available for absolute beginners, not even 1 year experience. Notice that when they say skilled worker visa and with the new UK immigration laws that are coming into effect very soon, that even makes it clearer because now with the skilled worker visa, you won't be able to get that if you are not earning at least £40,000 and above, right? 38,700 specifically and above. So you need to show yourself as a skilled person because you're a skilled person. You need to then be able to show yourself as that level of skill. Not many roles at beginner level. It starts getting more interesting at intermediate and obviously at advanced level because you have the right skill at that point in time. What do you need to do? Analyze where you are and then figure out what is the pathway to get to where you need to be. Find what they are looking for where you want to be, find where you are today, and then what we need to do is chart a pathway between where you are today and where you want to be. And that is where eMigr8 can help you. Starting with coaching, road mapping, and holding, and so on. And then as to even build out that qualifying roadmap. But once you have that qualifying roadmap on a step-by-step, day by day, week by week, as you're going towards that journey of being able to successfully qualify and successfully apply, eMigr8 is able to support your entire journey end to end. That's the platform we built. with AI supporting, we've been able to make a lot more things free, and we've been able to scale, and we are continuing to scale this support to tens and hundreds of thousands of people.
All right. I don't know if you want to speak to some of our partners or eMigr8 partner companies that can help in transitioning for those that want to transition into tech.
Oh, okay, sure. Happy to do that as well. So if you're trying to transition into tech, we're partnered with Bincom Dev Center. Bincom Dev Center actually incubated eMigr8, but eMigr8 is now standing alone as its own company. And Bincom Dev Center has the Bincom Global Tech Program. With the Global Tech Program, it takes you through the entire journey of learning skill, building the experience, building the exposure. It comes with work reference. It comes with the right exposure at the right level. It comes with mentoring. It comes with knowledge development. There's a lot that is actually packaged into that talent development program, such that it's a 1 to 2 year program from ground zero to intermediate level. But in 3 months, you can actually go from one level to the next. So if you're already at beginner level, it can help you get to early stage intermediate. If you're at a newbie level, it will help you get to the beginner level. So you move from one stage to the next within a 3 months period. And it's highly recommended. There are a few other partners that we are now partnering with, but yeah, this is one that we are recommending to you.
All right. We have a question. Someone is trying to clarify, can I please clarify if this is what you said, build a startup. What solution have you built that would be useful or that will be helpful to the public or to companies and businesses? I think it was when you were answering the question around a young developer who has data analyst experience and now has moved to AI, become an AI developer and doesn't have experience there just yet and is thinking of so it's actually follow-up question to clarify when you say build a startup in using using his AI skill set now, right? Are you talking about a solution or what solution are you proposing that he builds? What will help the public or what will help companies?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Um, Find a problem that either you have or people around you have, or you found companies that have, or governments have, or somebody has, and build a solution that can solve that problem. And then work with your team to market that solution to thousands of people and ensure that a few people start using your solution. Once a few people start using your solution, you start discovering bugs, you start discovering things that you didn't think about, you start discovering new features that you have to build. As your customers are complaining about those features that they want in addition, start building those features. That starts giving you more experience. When you then sit in an interview in front of your next hiring manager, and they are going to ask you for what kind of experiences you bring to the table, what you'll be talking about would no longer be things you did in locales that nobody used. What you'll be looking at that point will be actual solution that real life customers are using, and the stories you will tell using the STAR model, which is a recommendation when you interview, will be actual real story of battle scars that you've had. Some of them may not have been successful, but those scars helps the recruiting manager know this person has built the capacity, the muscle at the level which I need, and I want this person on my team to take us to the next level.
All right, fantastic. I think that's the questions we've got today, and we've spent a good time, educating, and you've spent a lot of time also informing everybody on some of the changes and some of the things that they have to do, right, to land that next role or to land that job. There are a lot of information in the eMigr8 ecosystem that you have also shared. And I think this is a very fantastic session. Typically, we'll ask questions around 5 key areas, but I think we've answered in the last set of questions. I think we've answered from C-level to young developers or junior developers. We've answered those questions, but I want to ask a different question today to say, we have a diverse audience, from junior developer to senior developers to C-level executive. What would you say they should be doing now to land their next role? So what should a junior developer be doing now as a take home from this session? What should he go and do next? What should a senior developer do next? as a take home, and what should a C-level executive do next as a take home, right?
All right then. So if you're a junior, and I won't just say developer, so whether you're technical or you are non-technical and you're a junior, what you want to do is start building more skill, more experience, and more exposure in your subject matter of expertise. That will, as at the time we are recording this, that will naturally take you to the likes of AI and how AI will help, because every landscape, every industry landscape is being disrupted at the moment. And so you may want to also start incorporating how AI will help you do all of these things. Please and please and please, when you do use AI, ensure that you understand what it is doing in the background. Don't just find the code, it works, and then you just copy it and put it there. It can put you into a lot of trouble. If you're at intermediate level, which means that you already have a lot of the skills and a lot of those, what you should be doing is then looking at what are the gaps that I have that I need to fill. What are the gaps that you have that you need to start working on? Don't rest on your past glory. Don't become used to be that person that is current. Don't be the one that is a developer and the .NET version that you built in is .NET 2 that become obsolete many, many years back. Ensure that you are consistently up to date in terms of your stack, in terms of your knowledge, in terms of new technique, and so on. Ensure that you're up to date. Ensure that you continue building experience and continue building exposure. And of course, if you're at the top of your game, you're at that C level, you're senior of the seniors, and so on. Similar advice, but one more thing is to say that look out there, because some opportunities are available now, they will not be available forever. Sometimes when windows of opportunity open, they open for a while and then they close, and to open maybe in the future or maybe never. And so you may want to sort of figure out what are the things that I should be doing right now. Strike when it is most effective to do so. If you are in the UK looking for a pathway to settlement, everything I've said also applies to you. And so what you want to do, because they have to be fair, unlike maybe developing economies, unlike where some of us came from, where you could do nepotism and so on. All of nepotism still happens also in the West, don't get me wrong. All it is that it is within a structure. You can sue them for being unfair. You can sue them for discriminating against you because you are not their color. They've made all of that possible for you. And so they follow the rules to the letter. And so you need to ensure that you understand the system and you also tick all the boxes so that when you present yourself, you are presenting yourself on that level playing ground. And of course, if you present yourself as the better candidate, as the preferred candidate, you will get the role. If you're ready to apply, if you are on this journey, you don't have to do it alone. We've built a platform to support your journey step by step. It's a freemium model. What that means is a number of things are available for free, but if you want much more value, then you have to pay for it. But start from what is available to you at no cost to you. Of course, if you want more support, because we have 3 models, the do it yourself, a lot of that is free, but we have a few things you can pay for in the DIY. The do it with me, and then the do it for me. So it's up to you what you need, but don't do it alone. Get the support that is available to you, because every coach on this platform is actually willing to help. Part of why they are doing what they are doing is because they want to be able to help you. And so take the help that is available to you.
Thank you very much, good buddy. Thank you for your time today. This has been a wonderful session. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you everybody for attending. I just wanted to show some of the things that we do here with regards to Technician. There's a lot of question in the group around Technician or on the chat around Technician and how we can help. All right, there are a lot of free stuff that we do when it comes to Technician. We have a community. I've shared the link to the community, to the WhatsApp community. Just click on any of the link to join, and it is free. We also have the Global Talent Visa do-it-yourself templates on our app. It is free to access, right? We have the Technician Visa Forum Discourse channel. This is free. Like I said, 85 to 90% of what we do is offered for free, right? We have the eMigr8 Technician Visa Office Hour. Um, it's free and there's premium. And if you're on the call to this point, you have won yourself a short coaching session, a 10-minute coaching session. Join any of the group and say to the administrator of the group that you were part of today's May 21st open day, and they would give you a slot to speak to a coach. Before you speak to the coach, I need you to do your research on the visa type that you want to talk about. And if you have questions, then you bring it to that session. Right. It won't help to come to the session and ask what is Technician because that is available everywhere and you can simply Google that. Right. We do have open day. Today's open day is free. This recording is going to be available after now. Please do share it with your colleagues and friends and family. Right. We have personalized coaching session. That is a premium package, right? But again, if you come to the community, we're able to schedule one for you. Now, these are some of the things that eMigr8 offers, right, within the do-it-yourself package. So take advantage. So for that, so Technician focus on the UK, right? The UK Global Talent Visa application process. This is what this is focused on. But we still offer these coaching sessions to address other countries. So, for example, if you want to go to Canada, if you want to go to if you want to move to Canada or move to the US or move to Australia, you can also get these same benefits and we can have the same conversation around those visa type. Now, if you are on the call, right, and you want to know, okay, what is the next step? I have the link to join the community on the group, which is the fastest way to redeem the prize you just won, right? Or simply send a text to the numbers on the screen at the moment, right? Send a text or WhatsApp message to the number on the screen at the moment, and we are able to connect with you. Whether you're looking to land a job, whether you're looking to move into tech, whether you're looking to get that tech visa, this is the platform you want to leverage on, right? And we're available to talk with you. We're available to coach you. We're available to connect you with the right resource that will take you to your preferred destination or economy. So that is the open day for the month of May, right? Thank you everyone for joining, right? Thank you for your time and do please share the conversation. Remember, knowledge is not power, but applied knowledge is power. So start taking those decisions today. Start moving start ticking that box one step at a time today. And in no time, you become globally attractive. In no time, you will land that desirable job, right? So thank you, everybody, and have a good day.